Our patron Junior says, can you guys think of any other striker, past or present, who used to go on the wings like Benzema does? I also find it annoying because, yes, he scores and assists a lot, but it creates many other issues like spacing, clogging the left wing, makes Madrid easier to mark, and reduces the chances of him getting to the end of a cross in the box, to name a few.
Well, there are surely other strikers who have that kind of tendency. For example, Firmino comes to mind. He's very similar. And while I agree that sometimes it's frustrating not to have a pure number nine at the end of the crosses when Real Madrid have that kind of tendency to send so many crosses, I do believe that definitely the pros outweigh the cons here, and by far, And it's true that this tendency from Benzema often requires that the left winger or even the left back go inside, and that's why he was so perfect to play alongside Marcelo and Ronaldo, because both of them liked to go inside whenever Real Madrid had the ball, and it doesn't work the same way with both Mendy and Vinicius, who likes to be a little bit wider than what Ronaldo liked to do. So, but I still think that both Benzema and Vinicius have great chemistry on the pitch and also off the pitch. So I think that definitely the pros outweigh the cons here by a pretty big margin.
Yeah, I can actually, and Junior knows I love him. Junior and I go all the way back to Instagram lives. He's like he's just a bright face, awesome guy. I love this guy, and patron for a long time. I actually feel like I can take all of these Junior, these sentences, and turn them into positive things. So, you know, if you find it annoying because he scores an assist a lot, but creates many other issues like spacing, clogging the left wing, I actually think, I would rephrase it from clogging the left wing and creating spacing issues to actually, I think Real Madrid want to clog the left wing and have a left-sided dominant possession because they can suck in defensive lines on that left side and then release passes to open players on the opposite side and switch it. This is a way they've been playing for a long time. Also, it allows you to do link up with the winger. It allows you not to be isolated because, the part of the problem is if your spacing is too far away from each other, you're going to have trouble linking up. You're going to have trouble getting the ball from point A to point B. You can't just slingshot a pass by pressing X and getting to that. So you need someone who's mobile and going to the wings to combine with wing backs and wingers. I think it's important. And would it make it easier to mark? I actually think it makes it more difficult to mark a player like that because you don't have one person with a defensive assignment of marking him, because when Benzema roams, he drags defenders with him and he forces you to constantly communicate, okay, someone else has to pick him up now, and like, where does he go? And whereas if he's a traditional nine who's in the box, he's easier to mark because he's going to be, he's not going to move around that much. So
Right.
I think I can spin all of these things into a positive. Now, does it reduce the chances of him getting on the end of a cross? I think that's true. But I also say that Benzema scored so many goals and gotten on the end of so many crosses. Have we really experienced that as a problem? I think the bigger problem is that maybe you need someone else on the box with him. Maybe you need sometimes a Bale or a Jovic presence to get in on the end of those crosses, and not so much like
Right.
Lucas Vasquez at the far post who can't do anything in those situations.
Exactly.
So I actually like the fact that he does roam like this, and also, can you think of any other striker, past or present, who used to go on the wings like Benzema does? I think there are plenty. The most obvious example would be somebody like Messi, who played the false nine role. Raul himself, if you want to look closer to home, spent an entire season on the left wing, but also was way more than a traditional nine. He would play as a shadow
Yeah.
striker. He would roam to both wings. He would drop deep into midfield to do defensive work and link up play. So obviously, and also
Even Suarez, for example.
yeah, Luis Suarez. I think that traditional nine, while it hasn't gone away completely, in modern football, it's not so. You will have your Lukaku's and Lewandowski's and Haaland's, but you will also need to be incredibly mobile in what you do.
Hmm.
So I'm okay with Benzema being the way he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Raul, Nilay Desai says, I hate this question, but I love this question. I hate it because I have to I have to make an impossible answer. Nilay says, if we decide to part ways with Carlo Ancelotti at the end of the season, and you guys have two options: one, buy Klopp out of his contract as he is willing to come in, or two, if this is his only shot at managing Real Madrid and he'll never get a chance to in the future, then appoint Raul. What do you choose?